Starting our list from the chaotic underworld of 1990s Russia is Alexander Solonik, known as Sasha the Great. A former Spetsnaz commando, he became the Russian mafia's most sought-after contract killer, directly linked to 43 assassinations. Solonik was legendary, not just for his kills, but his supernatural ability to evade capture, famously escaping from high-security prisons 3 times. His precision marksmanship and ghost-like disappearances made him the ultimate superkiller for hire. From the heart of the Sicilian mafia's bloodiest years, meet Juspe Greco, or the Little Bird. This ruthless paid enforcer for Salvatore Riina's Corleonesi clan was a direct participant in many massacres and is suspected of involvement in over 300 murders. His preferred weapon was a Kalashnikov rifle, mowing down targets and anyone nearby. Greco's unflinching cruelty and brutal efficiency, always at the behest of his bosses, made him a terrifying symbol of the mafia's violent rise, leaving a massive trail of bodies. Next, from the brutal Bonanno crime family in New York, we have Thomas Pitera, famously known as Tommy Carati. This wasn't just about simple hits. Pitera was a sadistic enforcer, notorious for dismembering his victims, sometimes even beheading them to prevent identification. While directly convicted of 6 murders, he was implicated in 60 acts of extreme violence and numerous other murders for the mafia. His chilling methods and gruesome reputation made him one of the most feared and unique paid killers in American organized crime. Moving to the notorious Colombo crime family, meet Gregory Scarpa Sr., chillingly dubbed the Grim Reaper. Scarpa claimed to have personally committed over 50 murders for the mafia, and law enforcement suspected he was responsible for over 100 assassinations. What made him even more dangerous? For decades, he was an FBI informant, allegedly using this status to eliminate rivals under the guise of doing justice, making him one of the most prolific and insidious paid killers in American mob history. From suburban New Jersey came the mafia's ultimate ghost, Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman. This chillingly remorseless contract killer boasted of over 200 victims, though law enforcement widely attributes him with over 100 murders. His signature? Freezing bodies for years in industrial freezers to mask time of death. Kuklinski killed for money and convenience. His brutal efficiency and profound lack of empathy, detailed in his own chilling confessions, made him one of America's most terrifying and prolific paid hitmen. In the heart of the Sicilian mafia's most brutal era, Giovanni Brusa, the Pig, reigned as Salvatore Riina's most feared paid enforcer. He personally confessed to involvement in 100 to 200 murders, with 150 being a strong estimate of his direct participation. His true deadliness lay in his extreme sadism. He pulled the trigger on the Judge Falcone bombing, killing 5, and notoriously kidnapped and dissolved an 11-year-old boy in acid, an act of depravity commissioned as revenge, cementing his legacy as the mafia's ultimate butcher. 1970s, Brooklyn birthed a terrifying factory of death, Roy DeMio's Gambino crew. This was industrial-scale murder for hire. They became infamous for the Gemini Lounge method. Victims were systematically dismembered, drained of blood, and perfectly disposed of, leaving no bodies. With estimates of 200 murders attributed to his crew, their chilling efficiency and grotesque methods made DeMeo's operation one of the most prolific and horrifying murder squads in American crime history, paid handsomely for their gruesome work. In Colombia's Medellin cartel, John Gyro Velasquez, Popeye, was Pablo Escobar's chief sicario. He claimed to have personally killed 257 people and orchestrated over 3,000 more for the cartel. Popeye was involved in kidnappings, assassinations of top officials, and massive car bombings. His chilling, candid confessions, even if exaggerated for bravado, offer a unique, disturbing look into the mindset of a cartel enforcer who redefined mass murder in the name of a drug lord. From the shadowy ranks of Murder Inc. comes Harry Strauss, infamously known as Pittsburgh Phil. This chillingly prolific paid hitman from the 1930s and 40s was indicted for 17 murders, but law enforcement widely suspected him of up to 300 assassinations, making him one of the most lethal individuals in American history. Strauss was known for his cold efficiency and grotesque methods, often using an ice pick. His sheer volume of kills and his remorseless nature cemented his terrifying legacy as one of the mafia's most active executioners. Louis Lepki Bualter. While he didn't personally pull the trigger for everyone, Louis Lepki Bualter was the undisputed boss of Murder Inc., the notorious execution squad responsible for an estimated 400 to 1,000 contract killings across the United States. He was the ultimate paid-to-kill orchestrator, taking orders from the National Mafia Commission and assigning them to his ruthless hitmen like Harry Strauss and Abe Kidd. class. His reign of terror was unparalleled, making him the only major mob boss to be executed by the state for murder, solidifying his chilling legacy as the most powerful contract killer boss in American history. Charles Nicoleti, a highly skilled marksman. Nicoleti was a top assassin for the infamous Chicago outfit from the 1950s to the 1970s. He was a master of various killing methods, including garroting and knife attacks, and was suspected of over 50 murders for the outfit. His name often came up in investigations related to high-profile assassinations, including speculation about his involvement in the JFK assassination, though never proven. His precision and loyalty made him one of the outfit's most feared enforcers. Sammy the Bull Graano. Graano confessed to 19 murders as a ruthless enforcer and later underboss for the Gambino crime family under John Gotti. While his personal count might be lower than some, his deadliness comes from his strategic importance and willingness to kill anyone, even close associates, on Gotti's orders. He played a pivotal role in bringing down the Gambino family by becoming a government witness, but not before proving himself as a cold and efficient killer for hire within the mafia. Anthony Casso. Known as one of the most violent and unpredictable mafia bosses, Casso admitted to 36 murders and ordered many more during his rise through the Lucchese family. His brutality was legendary, often personally participating in hits to ensure they were carried out effectively. He was also deeply involved in drug trafficking, which led to a surge of violence. Casso's reign of terror showcased a man who enjoyed killing and used it as his primary tool for power. Donald Lavoy, known as Canada's most prolific hitman, Lavoy confessed to 27 murders and claimed to have carried out over 100 contracts for the Dubois gang and the Montreal Mafia in the 1970s. His chilling frankness about his crimes and his methodical approach made him truly terrifying. He specialized in disposing of bodies by dismemberment and dissolving them in acid, similar to other infamous killers, ensuring his victims disappeared without a trace. Christopher Dale Flannry, Mr. Rent-A-Kill. Flannry was a notorious freelance hitman in Australia during the 1980s, earning the nickname Mr. Rent-A-Kill for his willingness to take on any murder contract. He was implicated in over 30 murders across Sydney and Melbourne's gangland wars. Known for his volatile temper and love of high-powered firearms, Flannry's unpredictability made him both highly sought after and feared. He vanished in 1985 and is presumed murdered, a fitting end for a man who lived by the gun. Rodney Charles Collins. Known as the Duke, Collins was a lifelong criminal and prolific contract killer in Melbourne, Australia. He was suspected of involvement in dozens of murders, including the infamous Easy Street murders and the Russell Street bombing. He was notoriously tight-lipped and never confessed, taking his secrets to his grave when he died in prison in 2018. Collins' ability to operate in the shadows for decades, carrying out hits without ever being definitively linked, solidified his status as a deadly, elusive professional. Jorge Ayala, or known as Revi, was a key contract killer for the Medellin cartel, known for his ruthless efficiency during the Miami drug wars of the 1980s. He admitted to 35 murders and was implicated in many more, often targeting rival drug traffickers and their families. He was a protege of the infamous Griselda Blanco, the godmother, carrying out her orders with brutal precision, sometimes even killing children. His chilling testimony provided insight into the extreme violence of the drug trade. Ray Ferrito was a ruthless mafia hitman for the Lucchese crime family, known for his cold efficiency. His most notorious act was the assassination of powerful Genovese boss Carmine Galante in 1979, a major coup for the mafia that few would attempt. Ferrito later became a government informant, providing crucial testimony that exposed the inner workings and violent contracts of the Lucchese family, pulling back the curtain on the business of paid killing. Abe Kidd, Twist Rayless, was one of the most feared and prolific contract killers of his era, directly responsible for dozens of assassinations for Murder Inc. He was known for his cold-blooded efficiency and his preferred method of using an ice pick. Rayless famously turned government informant, providing explosive testimony that led to the convictions and executions of several top mob figures. His direct involvement in numerous paid hits and his later role in exposing the inner workings of America's largest assassination syndicate makes him a pivotal and undeniably deadly figure of the 1900s. And finally, Joseph Barbosa, famously known as the Animal, was a New England mafia enforcer whose name struck fear into the hearts of rivals and associates alike. A former boxer, his fists were as deadly as any weapon, and he was renowned for his explosive temper and unbridled savagery. Barbosa was a highly effective killer for hire, responsible for numerous beatings, extortions, and murders carried out for the syndicate. His victims often met incredibly gruesome ends, reflecting his unbridled rage. What made the Animal truly stand out was his unpredictability and willingness to turn on anyone, leading him to become a government informant whose testimony sent many mob figures to prison. His raw, terrifying violence solidified his place as one of history's most vicious, paid killers. With that being said, my name is Loki. Thank you so much for watching, and this is history.